Hey, Connor, congrats on the nice outing day. I guess just what was really kind of working for you out there?
Um, I would just say coming into the game with a defense like that and knowing I'm throwing to Frick definitely makes life a lot easier. You don't have to kind of think. You can pitch to contact knowing you got a defense like that, and they're gonna wherever they hit it, they're gonna make a play. You saw that last weekend with Colby. That was a huge play and kind of gives you a lot more confidence going out there for sure.
Hey Connor, you talked about your defense behind you a little bit, but you were also able to sit down seven batters, yourself. I was just kind of wondering, what your stuff was doing tonight for you to really, keep them off balance like that.
Yeah, Coach Gaines was calling a good game, kind of keeping them off balance. I was able to throw the fastball on the corners of the plate, which kind of froze them a little bit, and then my curveball is really working today, and I got a few swing and misses on the slider and freezes, which helped a lot. But yeah, Coach Gaines called it well, kept him off balance.
Hi, how are you?
Good.
Sorry. With it being so early in the season, what are you trying to hope to build off of with this good performance tonight?
I would just build off the victory. That was a good team win this weekend. We didn't have the closest games, but tonight was kind of a dogfight. Coach Forbes preached that we're going to have those, and to be able to pull away with a win like that, I think it's a good team booster going into the weekend.
Connor, you were obviously in the conversation, still are in the conversation to be a starter on this team. I guess just kind of how have you approached that? I mean, just knowing that, you guys do have so many arms, just kind of approaching kind of whatever role you're going to have to be in.
Yeah, Coach Forbes and the coaches have preached all year long. You may not be in the lineup, you may not be starting, but at the end of the day, teams come together to win. Obviously, when I found out I was coming out of the bullpen, my first thing was, whatever I can do to help the team win, I'm going to do it, and I'm going to do it to the best of my ability. So, day by day, game by game, just being ready, taking care of my body, and being ready to throw each day if my name gets called.
Hey Connor, you talked about your relationship with Coach Gaines a little bit, but I was just kind of wondering, what that kind of looks like, and just kind of how it feels when y'all two are communicating like you were tonight, and have a plan like that.
Yeah, like I said earlier, it's definitely a relief to have coaches like that who they're never going to let you slack off, and they're always going to be there to help you, I guess, throw a good game or kind of do whatever you want. But it's definitely nice and relieving to know that Coach Gaines is always going to be there to he talked tonight after just my time to the plate may have been a little slow. And although I pitched well and whatever, there's definitely each game, there's going to be room to improve. And like I said, just taking it game by game, I think that's what's going to come together for this team.
Thank you.
What was your feeling tonight, just coming out of the bullpen, coming into the situation? Can you talk a little bit about when you first got into the game?
Tonight I just kind of took it at bat by at bat. Obviously I think it was 2-1 when I came in, but I try not to think about that because when I try to think about things like that, I think that's what brings me down a lot. So just being in there and taking it at bat by at bat, it definitely makes the game go by a lot smoother, and it takes your mind off, it may be a close game or whatever's pitched in the past. And Coach Forbes talked about not looking forward, not looking for the next outing, the next at bat, just kind of taking each pitch by pitch. And I think that's what helped tonight.
Connor, what would you say has kind of been the biggest acclimation point for you from a performance standpoint, since you arrived here in the fall?
Definitely, like I just said, taking it pitch by pitch. Making sure, each fastball I throw, you can't really leave it across the plate because they're going to hit it. I saw that in the fall. I saw that in the preseason. And ultimately, that's what made me better. Our team has a ton of great hitters, 1 through 9, and the bench guys, and facing them throughout inter squads in the fall, I think it really helped me learn how to, pitch design, pitch call, place pitches, leaving 0-2s certain places where I think that's where the biggest change has been, just taking it pitch by pitch, and each pitch really does matter because the game can switch so quickly on with one swing of the bat.
Anything else for Connor?
Good on my end.
All right, thanks, CB.
Thank you.
Thanks, Connor.
Thanks, buddy.
What's going on, Johnny? I guess first ball there today, I guess, did you think it was out off the bat? And just kind of what was your mindset when you saw that second one come off the bat later in the game?
The first one I kind of thought I got a hold of, but it's far out there. I knew my teammates got on in front of me. I needed to, bring them in. It's a close game, 1-0 at the time. But I got a good pitch to hit, 3-1, and I don't know if it went out or not, but I heard from someone in the dugout saying that it might have grazed the batter's eye, but I'm just happy that I got to bring my teammates in, getting on in front of me. Vance just hit one right in front of me there, pieced on one, and hit the wall, whatever, short hop. So I'm just happy that I came through for the team.
Hey, Johnny, you're obviously, seeing the ball pretty well early in the season. I think you're hitting like 600 right now. And I was just kind of wondering, what you've, been seeing early this year that's led to some of that success, and just, how you kind of feel heading into a competitive matchup, this weekend against DCE.
I worked really hard with Coach Weirs on just my approach and my swing path and things like that. So that's definitely has helped me. It's good when like everyone's clicking in the lineup, everyone's hitting. It just gives you confidence as the game goes on. And, I'm just trying to do the best I could for the team because we're doing well right now. Just trying to keep it up. But, like I said, it's just a lot of hard work with Coach Weirs back in the cages to get ready for moments like this. So hopefully the team can keep clicking and we can continue to swing the bat pretty well.
Hi, Johnny. Can you talk a little bit about what you've done in the off season? You're off to such a great start this year, you individually. So what has been the difference so far?
Yeah, like I said, I struggled last year a lot, and I think that is what helped me by struggling. So I knew what I needed to work on. Definitely seeing off speed up, not chasing it down the way. It really, the biggest thing was just my mindset, my approach. I'm not really worried about my swing because, your swing's a swing, but my approach was the biggest thing I worked on this off season and even the preseason. Like I said, with Coach Weirs and just older guys on the team like Angel, Danny, guys like that, just helping me with my approach.
Johnny, you guys threw 3 guys out there today who could very well have been starters on this team on the weekend. How much of an advantage do you feel like it is, just this extra pitching depth you have, especially when it comes to these midweek games?
Yeah, it's huge. Like we need guys to come out of the pen, even start like midweeks like Sandy today. He looked great. All preseason he looked good. Same with Bovair. He was lighting it up today. We need guys like that. Mott again coming in late game. That's the guys we need because that's going to help us win down the road because it's a long season and we need guys to come out of the pen and give us a 1-2-3 inning, and that's going to help the offense start clicking even more. Also, like the bats are off. We have confidence in our pitchers that they're going to get the job done. We can come up there and do our thing.
Hey, Johnny, speaking of the lineup a little bit again, kind of struggling a little bit early and, leaving some runners on base. I was just kind of wondering, what it says to the lineup, to still be really early in the year, and put up 5 runs, after kind of, starting off kind of slow like that and continuing to fight.
Yeah, Coach always talks about it. The biggest at-bats are at the end of the game, and that's what matters most. Obviously, runners in scoring position, you got to do your job. But, little things like just putting the ball in play with 2 strikes and when there's runners on, moving them over or driving them in, that's the biggest thing. But the biggest at-bats are at the end of the game. You just got to stay locked in. No matter what you did, first 2-3 at-bats, you got to be ready for that last one.
Hi, Johnny. What's the message going into this weekend against East Carolina? What are you guys going to do to prepare for that?
I think we're just going to do the same thing we always been doing. We know it's a rivalry game. There's really not much to it. We just got to stay within ourselves and do our own thing. We don't really worry about the other team. We worry about ourselves and just keep doing what we're doing to prepare. It's a long season, like I said before. So we just got to stick to ourselves, stick to what works, and hopefully keep it up.
You mentioned how Connor was really lighting it up out there. Just going against him throughout the fall and the preseason, just how difficult of an at-bat is he?
Yeah, it's tough for sure. He's got that fastball. He gets it up there. I think he got up to 94, 95 one time maybe. He lights it up with that. His breaking ball is pretty sharp. But, like I said before, we need him to come out and do that out of the pen whether he's starting in midweek or coming out of the pen, in the weekend. We need him to do those types of things for us, and that's going to help us win down the road.
Anything else for Johnny, guys?
All good over here.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Thanks.
Thanks, Johnny.
I'll grab coach and we'll be right back. Thanks, John.
How we doing, everybody? I thought all in all, that was a well-played game by both teams. One error apiece. The error we made, I believe, was on Danny, if I'm correct, and that ball just rolled up his hand a little bit. He couldn't get it out of his hand, but if you would love to beat people handily like we did, this past weekend, but that's just not the case. It's not the way college baseball works. I thought Elon had a good plan. They threw 3 or 4 of their best relievers that had good pitchability. They used them well, and we had our work cut out for us. But I thought we had good at bats all night. We didn't get that big hit, but we did towards the end, and that's when it matters the most. We didn't do that much last year. So Mac, hasn't started red hot, but again, I wanted him up there. I told him just that, and he got a big hit. Credit their left fielder, and then Johnny almost had 2 home runs, one on a 93-mile-an-hour fastball, and one on a good breaking ball. But I think the story of our game was our pitching. I thought Will got us off to a great start. And then Bovair, who's been in the mix for a weekend job, looked outstanding. And then Sean Rapp's velocity continues to climb. And then Kyle Mott is, that could be a really difference maker for us this year. His velocity's up, his command's up. He's pitching more like he did in 2020. So I would say I was most proud of getting a big hit in the big situations, but more importantly, that is how we pitched.
Coach, kind of building off that pitching a little bit, Will gets in a little bit of trouble there in that first inning, but did a good job just getting around that, especially coming off of last year. I mean, how great was it to see him kind of work through that and just kind of, show some of that newfound confidence that he has after last season?
Yeah, no doubt. And Will's improved in every area, not just on the field, but as a leader. Came back for the right reasons, spent all summer pitching in the Coastal Plain League. He is a Tar Heel through and through. And that's why a lot of our younger pitchers have improved, because you have older guys that are here, been here, and this is his 4th year. But he's improved. His breaking stuff is average, but his velocity's up a tick, which makes his off speed a little bit better. So to see him give us that good start, is what we need. We don't need somebody midweek to necessarily go out there and throw 7 innings. With the depth of our bullpen, we're going to need to pitch guys just to make sure they're staying ready for weekend. So he did a great job.
Hey, Coach. Just speaking of the pitching a little bit more, you gave up 6 runs in the opening series, and you were able to hold them to 1 tonight after kind of, struggling with injuries a little bit, and just kind of maintaining depth last season. What have you liked that you've seen out of your pitching staff so far this year?
Well, number one has been starting pitching. We could have left all of them in, but early on you want to ease them into their pitch counts. When their pitch counts get up to 100, you're going to let your starters fight through a little bit. But, I've been really happy that's where it starts. You got to have good starting pitching. But when you have a good deep bullpen, 5 innings is a lot. And if your starter knows, hey, if I give our team 5 innings, I've done my job. And I feel like now we've got some pieces in the bullpen that we can go 6, 7, 8, 9, 1 inning apiece and feel good about it.
Hi, Coach Forbes. Can you talk a little bit just about Johnny tonight? He obviously has been off to such a good start this season. What's been the difference for him in this early part of the season and even in the off season?
Yeah, absolutely. Sitting outside on a nice night, smart. Johnny's just a year older, number one. You can look at his body if you saw him last year and see he's also much stronger. But he's really matured. He had a hard time controlling his emotions, especially as a hitter. And Johnny, if he was out his first 2 at bats, it carried over, and that hasn't been the case. And I also have to give credit with Coach Wierzbicki. Him and Johnny have spent a ton of time in the cages working on having an approach, because good hitters have approaches, and being able to lay off. Johnny's biggest weakness last year was he swung at balls, him and Tomas Frick, and they've worked really hard at saying, okay, unless I get my pitch in a hitter's count, I'm going to be okay with, letting the guy behind me, pick me up. And Johnny's really improved that. He's laid off some really good pitches that I've watched so far in these 4 games that he swings at last year. And then if he swings at them early in the count, he lays off of it the next pitch, which is a sign of a guy that's starting to grow as a hitter.
Coach, you and even Coach Fox have talked about in the past how when it comes to transfers, a lot of the times, in terms of their attitude, you want guys who, if they're not starting, like just that they still can kind of adapt and are willing to go and take on these other roles. Obviously, Connor, Friday night starter at the end of last season, in the mix to start, for the weekend, you guys early this year. I guess just for him to kind of step into that relief role, right here out of the gate, really kind of embrace it, it seems like. I mean, how big is that? And obviously, he could work his way into the rotation again, but how much of a weapon can he be as a reliever too?
Yeah, no doubt. Anytime you're a reliever, you have to be good at the stretch. So he's been able to come in the wind up, and he's worked. And the thing about it is, he said, like, I've never pitched out of the bullpen in my life. And credit to Coach Gaines, you have to prepare guys. It's really not that much different, except, a lot of times you come in and you start from the stretch. And, all my days as a pitching coach, I always work with our pitchers is making them understand you're going to make your biggest pitches with runners on base. But he's got stuff. He's got pitchability. But man, watching him come in today, the last 2 times out of the bullpen, obviously, the back of my mind, I'm like, man, that is another weapon. And you know how I am, Pat, about having a dominant bullpen. I've always felt like if you have 2 good starters and you've got a dominant bullpen, you can piece it together on Sunday. But I feel like we also have enough depth where we can continue to. I mean, PB House and Bovair both can come out of the bullpen or start, and they've got power stuff. And they're both transfers, and they are tremendous kids. So we got lucky with both of them.
Anything else for Coach?
I guess just Coach, obviously, nitpick maybe a little bit. Obviously, there's the ball hit Angel there and right, hard hit ball, kind of tough one to read. What sort of conversations have you had with him over these last couple of days? As he's obviously just kind of getting his feet wet again back in that right field spot.
Yeah, no doubt. And, that's a different read. He's been in left field a ton. He's been in center field a ton. And especially off a right-hander's bat, it's a tougher read. A lefty, usually you're just burnt. Reading that backspin. So Angel, he puts in the work. The more he's out there, the better he's going to get at it. So really just reminding him, like, hey, man, besides, getting on him with that base running blunder early in the game, I really don't say much to him in the outfield, because I know Angel, and I know that he's only going to, he'll figure it out there, and he'll be one of the best right fielders in the country.
I'll get over here.
Very good.
Y'all have a great night.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks,
Thanks, sir. Good.